Hello, welcome to the YouTube live stream for Sunday of me exploring. I've been on an exploration trip for quite a fair few weeks now, and that's one of the reasons why the sort of regular videos that I put out on the YouTube channel are not elite videos, because they would all just be more exploration. So instead I'm live streaming my exploration, and the videos are for other games. So at the moment I'm doing Let's Play series on Troy Total War Saga for the Friday videos, but Sundays are for exploration. So here we go. So I've finished off here. This is a system that I've completed, so the first thing we'll be doing is jumping to a new system. How exciting. We'll see what we find there. I've slightly changed my destination. Rather than the waypoint I have been heading towards, I'm heading towards a system where I think I might find a fleet carrier where I can sell some of my data, because I'm kind of getting a bit gazumped on some of my mapped planets, where it happened that I logged out in a system where I'd started mapping the planets because none of them were showing up as having been mapped, and when I next logged in, the two innermost planets actually were showing as having been mapped. So obviously somebody had been to that system, mapped those planets, hadn't sold the data yet, and between one play session and the next, that other player sold the data. So ordinarily I don't bother with the systems where it's partially mapped, because there are so many systems where nothing's mapped that I can keep myself busy just doing those ones. Yeah, so I got a bit concerned about maybe it's time I sold my data, otherwise I might miss out on some other places where it wasn't showing as mapped, and I don't want to lose out on my first mapped bonus or getting my name on it, really. So since I've gone to the bother of deliberately picking places that weren't mapped, I don't think I do need this fleece one anymore. It's got a bit cold, but it's difficult to get the right temperature these days. First it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold. It's like the weather doesn't know what it's doing most of the time. The Met Office keeps saying they're going to be like yellow warning for thunder showers, but it's like the boy who cried wolf by this point. So so many times they've said weather warning, it's going to be, dangerous thunder showers, and then there wasn't even any rain at all. That it's like next time they say, oh, yellow warning for, I'm just going to be like, yeah. Pull the other one, it's got bars on. So let's see, where are we? I think I know what to do here. If I can just, I think, yeah. So what I would like to do is get that on top there. If I can hide that behind this, it'll use up, so then it won't actually have to. Right, there we go. I'm just moving things around on my set monitor a bit to make things work better, or ideally to do what I think will make them work better. Right, because so we need to open up the galaxy map again. There's some interesting stars around here. Bright stars. So, but we haven't been visiting those. Let's see where we get to anyway. Come on.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So I'd been having difficulties with Twitch, and because of that last week I did the entire day streaming on YouTube. This time I've managed to fix the issue with Twitch. I'll actually get onto Twitch support and let them know that. So after over 2 weeks of troubleshooting, and I was getting pretty desperate, I managed to track down what the problem was, and the problem was one of the sources that I had on Streamlabs OBS was Soundtrack, which is a Twitch thing for playing music. And it was the Soundtrack source that was breaking the stream and stopping it coming through without a delay. So once I removed that source, the problem went away. But you know, that was not anything anybody had suggested that I try, but it did occur to me that it could be that, and so I tried removing it, and that was indeed what it was. So thought I would share that with you. It's something I stopped using on the YouTube live streams anyway, because it shows up as copyrighted material on YouTube because it's not automatically removed. I thought using that particular source on Streamlabs OBS would facilitate that, but it doesn't, it would seem.
Fuel scooping.
What do we have? What do we have? Okay. Maybe it's showing up on the radar there. Let's start scanning. Ah, that's because nobody's discovered it before. Well, that's good. Bunch of high metal content worlds that aren't going to be landable. Icy body. Definitely not landable. Look at that. 19,104.55 atmospheres. No, thank you. High metal content world. Didn't quite manage to get that one in one go. Another high metal content world.
System scan complete.
And another high metal content world. Right, well. Okay. Nothing landable in this system, but we can still go map everything. Do a bit of scooping while we're at it. See, those solar flares look a lot better now. Oh, so much better. The way the plasma loops and solar flares were looking before was just really very disappointing, but that's much better. Oops. Just taking our time here so that we can scoop a bit more fuel. I like to top myself up from time to time.
Fuel scooping complete.
Right. Very nice, completely filled up. So we'll just have a quick whip round, map everything, and then off to the next system.
Surface scanned by 50%.
I always forget to do this.
Scan complete.
But if you are enjoying this stream and you would like to watch more of me playing computer games, particularly Elite Dangerous and stuff like that, especially since my live streaming on a Sunday for YouTube isn't at a specific time, because it all depends on other events, what time I'm available to stream on a Sunday for YouTube, then please do subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because that will help you to find more of the content you like. Not just me, but other people that are doing Elite Dangerous stuff, because if you subscribe to my channel, then that kind of helps the algorithm know the type of thing you like to watch. And then, well, you know how YouTube works, you don't need me to explain it for you. But anyway, this is me doing the old reminding people to subscribe and turn on notifications thing that all the other YouTubers do, and I'm having to do it too, because it's super important. I don't know, like typically speaking, people will follow channels they want to follow and not bother with channels that they're not that bothered with. But you know, every now and again, you mean to follow and then you just forget to do it. So perhaps from time to time, a friendly reminder to sort of support the channels that you want to see grow and produce more content is a helpful reminder, and not someone nagging you. Like I said, I always forget to do it until the end, and everybody knows that not that many people will watch a video all the way through to the end, especially a live stream that's like hours long. And you've really got to have some sort of enjoyment of the ambient nature of Elite Dangerous gameplay, because it's hardly a non-stop, adrenaline driven, glue you to your seat action fest.
Surface scanned by 50%.
That should get it all. Yes.
Surface scan
That's
complete.
got it all. Right, okay, that was 3. Should be marking these off, you know, should be marking these off. Hold on to get me notebook in order here. Right, so we did 1, then we did 3, I think. Did we do 2? No, we didn't do 2. So we'll do that next. There's a collection of bright stars up there. I wonder when the next update's getting applied. I've already said the sort of things that's going to get added or changed with the next update. But I can't remember when they said, if they said when it's coming out. It's the sort of thing that these days they don't like to do they? They don't like to tell you anything definite about anything, because they don't want to get into trouble for saying something that doesn't end up happening. And can you imagine if the Met Office was like that? Tomorrow there'll be some weather, or maybe there won't be any weather. We think there's going to be some weather, but we can't tell you exactly what kind of weather there'll be. What kind of weather would you like to see? What's that? Sunny with no rain? Oh well. If there's enough demand for sunny with no rain, we'll consider it. Yeah. Thing is, the Met Office is no way in control of the weather, and yet will still attempt to predict what the weather's going to be, with very poor accuracy. I don't understand why you don't want to release some information about something prematurely as well. I totally get that. And I waited until I'd actually completely finished one of those ASP caps before I even told anybody other than some very close friends and family that I was making them. I'm not wearing it today. I was wearing it on Saturday, so I like to give it a few days off between wearings. Like all my hats, I like to rotate the hats. Let them air a little between wearings. Right, it's 2. But you don't want to get premature, because you don't want to tell people about something and then build up the hype and then it gets pushed back. So I do get that. No, apologies for all the yawning. I'm always yawning these days. Too much burning the candle at both ends. Trying to be a morning person and carrying on being a night owl just doesn't work. So from here it looks like 5 and one of the others are in a close orbit around each other, at least around a central point. There's outfitting on the fleet carrier that I'm travelling towards. Might be able to sort out the symmetry of the dashboard ornaments. looks like they're both in orbit around a point. This will be one of the Lagrange points. See some interesting weather systems in the atmosphere on that planet.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Okay. It's 5. And obviously 4 will be next, because that's right there. So because the live stream on a Sunday evening isn't at a fixed time, it very often gets more views after it's been live than it did when it was live. And I leave my live streams on as on-demand videos for that reason. A lot of people say shouldn't leave live streams on because they'll get fewer views, but in my case, with my channel being so young, shall we say. That's interesting. I didn't get full coverage there. I need to get a bit closer so I can actually see where it's missing. Yeah, I mean my most successful videos have got like 100 and something views, so it's not like a super successful YouTube channel yet. There's plenty of opportunity to grow. Right, I see. Right, that's annoying. Yeah, I'm going to lose the efficiency bonus on this one. What a shame.
Surface scan complete.
Right, that's number 4. So we've done 4, we've done 5, we've done 1, 2, 3. So we do 6, then we do 7, and then we jump. We're looking at some of the other space games people have been going off and play, either because they just like all the space games, or because they're Elite Dangerous players that are hacked off with Odyssey and have gone off to play on different space games. One of the ones that I've seen is still in like early access, so seems to have quite a few issues with it. Pardon me. Looks like it's some kind of MMO in space, but there's a lot of crafting in it, which I like the look of. What was it called? I'm trying to remember now. It might be called Spaceport, Starport, something like that. Starfield? I don't know. There's a whole load of games that are just like recently become a thing. I think it might be Starfield. Might be. I think it's the one where you're actually a robot. But being a robot does not appeal, but sort of mining stuff out of asteroids and then doing something with that does. That is kind of one of the things that's missing out for League in many ways, is you go off and you get stuff, and then all you can do is just sell it to somebody else. There are no opportunities for you as a player to do anything with it. I think having the option to sell it is good, but I mean especially like take the genetic information that we get from doing exobiology. I would like to see something that players can do with that themselves, like, you know, as an additional step that helps you to do something or produce something or just to add value through your own gameplay. And the same goes with mined resources. So at the moment, what do you do with your mined resources? You sell them with them as part of a community goal. But it would be nice if there were other things that you could do with them, like you could have, if you're part of a faction that controls like a refinery, if your faction could let you basically use the refinery yourself, and then you could refine it into the pure form rather than the sort of mineral ore form, and add value yourself if you were willing to do the, like when I used to play RuneScape, and I did used to play RuneScape quite a lot, one of the things I really liked to do was I would mine, and then I would take the things that I'd mined and I would smelt them into bars, and then I would take the bars that I'd smelted and I would smith them into armour and weapons and things. Now, part of the reason I used to do that was because I guess I just like the idea of being self-sufficient rather than having to rely on other people to sell me stuff. But, you know, it also helps you rank up your other skills if you like that as a measure of your achievement, a skill system. But one of the things I most enjoyed was once you got to a certain level with a skill, you could join a guild for that skill. I'm trying to remember which guild it was that was in an area that was controlled by dwarves, and you needed a team of people to operate it. And each person had to do like a operation, like one of you would like work the bellows with your legs, and the other one into the chutes in the correct amounts with the right amount of coal and everything. And you know, you needed like, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 people working this sort of blast furnace, which is the only blast furnace in the game, and it was more efficient. It meant you needed less coal than if you were using a regular kind of smelting apparatus. Why can't we have something like that in Elite? Why can't we have like some kind of player operated refinery where members of your player faction or squadron operate the furnace, and then you get to bring along your ore and you can smelt it and add value, basically turn it into a higher value product yourself? As long as you make actually operating the refinery something that's enjoyable, something that's fun, at least as much fun as mining is. A little bit of skill and a little bit of practice, and you get good at it, and it's fun, and it's something you can do with your mates. I used to like doing that. I mean, when I wanted to just sort of go and use the blast furnace, you didn't even have to arrange to do it with particular people. You could just turn up there and sort of create a sort of fly team that would do it. So everybody wants to be able to smelt their ore and their coal using the blast furnace. In order to do it, you need a team of people that will operate it while you're doing that. So you basically take it in turns for each other. It's like, okay, you guys work the refinery or work the blast furnace while I smelt my ore. Then when I'm done smelting my ore, I'll take over from one of you and you can smelt your ore. And people used to just do it, cooperate just spontaneously in order to operate the thing. And sometimes, long after you'd finished smelting your ore, you might stay there and carry on operating the blast furnace while a bunch of other people just came in to use it. Just, as a community service, or because it was fun. I mean, I never liked leaving if it meant that there weren't enough people there to operate it, and then nobody else coming in with their ore could use it. I'd stay on and keep the thing working, just so that all the people coming in would be able to use it. I mean, there was a way by running from one station to another that you could try and operate it like short-handed, but it doesn't work out efficient because you could actually be producing the bars. Admittedly, you need more coal, but you could produce the bars a lot faster if you were just taking it to a regular kind of a forge than if you were using the blast furnace. So, but when you had a team operating it using the blast furnace, a lot more efficient, used far less coal. And for the higher level ores, like you had to use a lot of coal for each one ore, like adamantium ore. How many coal was that for regular? I think adamantium was maybe 7 coal, and I think can't remember if it was 5 or 4 coal for doing it with the blast furnace years ago, since I last played RuneScape. Oh, so long ago. Like 14 years or something since I was playing RuneScape. It's good crack. Yeah, in the crafting guilds, you just got a lot of generally speaking, fairly cooperative play. Obviously, with the mining, it wasn't quite like that, because if you were mining something, then you'd mine it out, and then the other person had to wait for it to respawn before they could get it, and then everybody was, waiting for the same rocks to respawn, and it was just a case of you'd be standing there like walloping this pile of rocks with your pickaxe, hoping that you'd be the one that gets the ore. But since all the other players also all started like walloping on it as soon as they started respawned, it was only one of you would be getting the ore and the others wouldn't. You'd have just wasted your time smacking this rock for nothing. I used to spend hours in the mining guild, mining coal. The problem with RuneScape was, though, that the economy was just bust as hell. There was no value in anything. The value of everything just tanked. The only things that actually had any decent value were things that dropped, because the game could basically control the probability of a thing dropping, which meant that it stayed rare. Because things that players make can't be controlled in that way. The bottom just falls out of everything, because there were always like kids in Asia that were like getting paid to just play the game 24/7. And then you've got bots. There are a lot of things that could be botted, so you know. I mean, people are complaining about bots in Elite, but it's hard to know how bad the problem is, because if you're running a bot, then chances are you're running the bot in solo, because you wouldn't run a bot in open, because they'd just be gank fodder, wouldn't they? They're trying to like go backwards and forwards doing, you know, mining missions or anything else really, and it's they just get blown up all the time. They won't get anywhere, just like real players, but worse. So the bots have obviously got to be playing solo. If they're playing solo, you're not going to see them, are you? I think a lot of people assume that because their particular attempts at BGS manipulation are not going as successfully as they want them to, they either blame that on bots or they blame it on another player faction that they think is like OP and ruining the game. And half the things that people think player factions are doing, they're not actually doing. It's just people throwing a strop. So if people are saying, oh well, bots are ruining the game because they've got too much of an influence on the background simulation, you just have to wonder to yourself, well yeah, if somebody really wants to manipulate background simulation by using bots,
surface scan complete.
Like, why does it matter so much to you that you would, rather than play the game and enjoy playing the game and influence background simulation, why cheat using a bot just so you can say, hey look, I've moved the needle, I've done a thing in the background simulation. But then people play idle games, so who knows? I mean, why you'd want to turn Elite Dangerous into an idle game by just botting the hell out of it, I don't know, but I'm sure there are some people do it. I wouldn't have thought there were that many people do it, but then apparently since they put Cookie Clicker or whatever it's called on Steam, it's like people are just like leaving it running in the background, so it's like one of the most concurrent players games out there, even though it's like from 2014 or something and it's an idle game. Just don't get the whole idea of idle games is just a bit weird really. There you go. Right, so that's everything in this system, I think. Yep. There's only 7 planets. Right, so off we go.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Where will it go? Where will it stop? Oops. That's not what I meant to do at all. Ooh, 26 bodies.
Fuel
Oh,
scooping.
we've discovered a whole bunch of stuff before we've even started FSS scanning. My. What have we discovered? 8. Presumably because the 8th planet is a star of some kind, is it? Is it? Let's see, let me see. Show me what you got. Yeah, brown dwarf star. Thought as much. Okay. I can't see it. Doesn't have a picture? Nothing? No picture at all. 0.0035 Earth masses. Oh right, there we go. There's a picture. I was thinking, yeah, it's small, but it's not so small you can't see it. I mean, that is very small, but not so small you can't see it. I found a microscopic planet. Just a piece of space dust. Wow, that's a really small one, and it's got 4 biologicals on it. That could be interesting. If we can actually see enough to find anything, that's always a problem with brown dwarf planets. With so little light. If there are bacteria on there, I mean, we're not going to have a chance of finding them. Could run around with our torch, maybe get lucky. And we've got an asteroid belt cluster. Big icy buddy. There's a big one. Oh, water giant. It's been a while since I've been to a water giant. +1 gas giant. Three geologicals on there. Silicate
Fuel
magma.
sinking complete.
Oh, that's really tiny. That's not even properly spherical, it's so small. It's another really, really tiny one. And again, not really properly spherical. Potato moons. I'll say. Class 3 gas giant. That'll have rings. I still don't get why we can't be shown the rings in the FSS. So it's the rings in the FSS. It looks good. Again, 3 geologicals and silicate vapor. 4 biologicals. That's good. Carbon dioxide. Two biologicals. Carbon dioxide with a touch of sulfur dioxide. 3 geologicals, iron magma. It'll be quite hot on the closer planet, so I can't get to that. I'm gonna have to move around a bit. Right. We'll go map this one first. Oh, it's looking quite bright red. Go for that saying one can't land on that type of planet. It's practically on fire. Molten lava planet.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Okay, that's one. I'll get 2. Slow down slightly ahead of getting there. And finish the FSS scan, I think. I'm on that annoying join line there again. The 2 walls of the universe, mate, eh? Right. Let's finish off. Okay, that's a high gravity planet. If it's landable, which it will be, because it's got no atmosphere, we need to be very, very careful landing on it. Just remember that.
System scan complete.
It's easy to forget to check the gravity before you start going for a landing. You know, you've always got to keep your wits about you.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Okay, we've got fumaroles, vents, fumaroles and vents. So we want to land here, but it's probably going to be quite hot. So we'll need to land somewhere where it's less hot. So maybe close to the Terminator, maybe close to the pole, and it won't be too hot we can't get out. So we'll just check the actual surface temperature data. Right, surface temperature 774 to 1512. I don't think we can get out, but we can still scan the... Even if we land on the night side, it'll still be too hot probably to get out. But we can still find the geologicals. Since we can't get out anyway, does it really matter? SRV seems to be temperature proof. Heaven only knows what it's made out of. At that sort of temperature, you would have thought that anything that you could build an SRV out of would melt. I'm going to come in nearer the pole. Hope that the temperatures aren't so high. Oh, pardon me.
Orbital flight engaged.
So it's a nice big area to look for geologicals in. Now it is more than 1G, so we need to be careful here. It's a very dense planet, so even though it was only a 6 probe planet, which is about Earth size, nevertheless it's not made out of ice. It's a nice dense planet, so we need to be very careful here, coming at a less steep angle of approach than we usually would. Usually 30 degrees is safe. Coming in at less than 30 degrees here, you see. And take it easy on the landing. Anything more than 1G I get quite nervous about, just because there was the one time when I was landing on a planet that was like something like 2.4G. And, well, I say landing on it, I didn't intend to land on it. I ended up landing on it and I didn't intend to land on it. And it was a rather severe case of geo-braking that resulted in a rebuy screen. Now, I want to keep an eye on this because this is the first planet we're actually attempting a landing on of this play session. The first planet one attempts to land on in any given session of play very often leads to stuttering and hanging. Stuttering and hanging during a landing on a greater than 1G planet is going to be dangerous, so I'm going to be even more cautious than usual and try and really not come in too fast. You know, it's better to take too long on a landing than to regret having come in fast. What the external temperature is here. Based on what the temperature range was showing, even the dark side would have been too hot to actually disembark, so deploy the landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay. Oops. Oh, you'd never have known, would you? You'd never have known. I'm pleased with that. Okay. That wasn't like thump. You know, that was like a nice soft touch. So yeah, temperature unsafe. But not for the good old SLV. Now, earlier on today when I was doing the Twitch stream, I found an unusual bug with the SRV where the turret on the SRV wouldn't work.
Drive assist on.
It basically the reticule for it, that little triangle in the middle there, was absent, no matter how far away from the ship I got. And interestingly, when I got up into the turret, ooh, look at how big that star looks.
Drive assist off.
Look at the size of it, man. It's quite unusual. I think that's worth a photograph. Yeah, so I was describing this bug. So you know, like you can get up into the turret itself, and you get like a little diagram of the ship. Well, the SRV, and then like a blue cone that shows what the fire arc is, like which part you're actually looking at, because you can rotate it round, obviously, so you might have it pointing in a different direction to the direction that the SRV is going in. So what it was showing facing forward, which is usually the default position of the turret, facing forward. As you can see it there, it's facing forward. But in actual fact, it was clearly facing backwards, and you couldn't turn it either. So you had no reticule for it. You couldn't fire it even in combat mode. I say even in combat mode. You can only fire it in combat mode, but you couldn't fire it in combat mode, and you couldn't rotate it, and it was facing backwards by default, but showed us facing forwards. It was just completely messed up. When I got back into the ship, super cruised off that planet, landed on a new planet, got the SRV deployed again, everything was fine. So like the going to super cruise kind of fixed the bug, but I didn't have to like log out or anything. That's kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe if I can back up slightly to get the star a little clearer. No, it's that. I'll just take one like that, and then I'll take one from outside. It's been a bit slow taking a picture. Let's try again. There we go. It's taken it, but it's going to have the thing on, which is annoying. Right. Hang on a minute. I thought you could get free camera. Why can I not get free camera? Free camera number pad 0. No. I guess. Right. It's weird. It's free camera. There we go. Finally. Right. Oh, right, there we are. Better. Right. Onwards. Just an outcrop. See what we've got. Cadmium, iron, zinc, nickel, manganese, nickel. I think I've got plenty of manganese, haven't I? Yeah, I'm full on manganese. And pretty sure I'm full on everything else there. Yep, I am pretty sure. Now, even here in the shadows, it's, yeah, unsafe temperatures. Oops. Wonder what we'll find here. Probably another outcrop, maybe a Meteorite, whatever they're called. Not a geologist. It's quite a distance away, isn't it? Still haven't come across any of the geologicals yet. But... oh, it's just a bronzite chondrite after all of that. It had been looking like it was something more interesting. But then as we got closer, it turned into something less interesting. Makes a change for the chunks to just go thud onto the ground rather than flying up into the air like they do on your typical low gravity planets. Oops, there. I'm not adept at flivving. I probably oughtn't to try. I typically end up either over tilting forwards and rolling the whole thing, or under tilting and landing on the back end. Oof. Or just doing that. So I'm going to get out of this rough country and onto the little flatter bits to look for the geo. It's just easier and more comfortable driving. I mean, there's off-road driving and then there's like hill trials. Pretty sure all of this that's on my radar right now is just my own ship. And if it should turn out to be anything other than my own ship, we can investigate it. Now there's something slightly off to the left there that looks like it's not my ship. There's something over here. Yep. Yeah, you can't really fliv properly in a high gravity planet. It just all you can do is fall less quickly. Excellent traction though compared to like low gravity planets. Right, there we go, there's something. That's definitely something. That is definitely something. Since we haven't found any of the geo yet, it's something useful. Oof. Oh, what we're gonna find, what we're gonna find. Vents or fumaroles, I think, isn't it? Vents or fumaroles? So which do you think it's going to be? Vents or fumaroles? Vents or fumaroles? Okay, new game show. Right, crystalline fragments, so I still ask you the question, which do you think it's going to be? Vents or fumaroles? Double or quits? High or lower? Okay. Get them in the turret for a bit of an easier job. Alright, sulfur dioxide gas vent. It was a vent! Hooray! So you see there, that's what I was talking about, where you've got the blue cone that shows you where you're pointing. And you see how you can rotate round, and it starts off facing forwards. Well, when it was bugged out, it showed like it was facing forwards, but actually it was facing backwards like that. Anyway. There's something else over here. Oh, and it's a fumarole. You can get them both in one go. And that fumarole's got a Pisces cobble on it. Interesting. Normally, I associate Pisces cobbles with geysers, but there aren't any geysers here, so the fumarole appears to have got it instead. But let's scan this one. Right, sulfur dioxide fumarole, and that's 2 of 2. We can go back to the ship now. I'm just going to turn this around so that I can shoot the Pisces cobble off, see what it's made of. And it's made of manganese. Yeah, see, Pisces cobble made of manganese, which is a G2 material. Unusual. And if we can, we'll get these crystalline fragments off, see what they're made of. Oh, that was made of iron. Alright. So that is as good as you can do for Planet 2. We can't actually get out because it's just too hot. Even on the night side it's too hot apparently. So go to the third planet next.
Landing gear retracted.
The idea I was discussing earlier about like
Charging.
player-run refineries, that's not an idea I had before I started playing just today. I mean, it literally popped into my head
Engage.
while I was playing. Sometimes it might sound like I've had all these fantastic ideas and I've just been waiting to drop them all on you in the stream, but it's not the case. This is like a rambling stream of consciousness I'm exposing you to. And shame on you if you actually thought anything else. My organised ideas are much better. But no, I really still think that's a nice idea. Player-run refineries. Maybe I'm a little idealistic, but sometimes I think to myself, you know what, Elite Dangerous has the potential to be like a space utopia. Where everybody just, is excellent to one another and we help each other and we'll do positive things. For some reason, the game developers just keep wanting to put in stuff that involves murder and mayhem and theft and other crimes. We're also antisocial. We just want to like steal things and assassinate people. But come on. There are lots of games where it's like obviously a game about committing crimes for people that want to indulge themselves in fantasy, law breaking, transgressive fantasies. But there are other things we want to fantasize about doing, like, building and exploring and, non-violent things. And Elite Dangerous is a game that can offer people that kind of positive non-violent gameplay. I say that as somebody that plays first-person shooters and happily goes around, taking assassination contracts as part of the Assassin's Guild in Skyrim, and I'm not saying oh, that's all bad and evil and I don't want to do any of it. What I'm saying is sometimes I don't want to do any of it. Sometimes I just want to be a scientist or an explorer or a colony builder. I'll be honest, I think for the most part when I was playing through the Assassin's Guild quest the first time I played Skyrim, I was really only doing it because it was content and it was there and I wanted to sort of suck the marrow out of the bones of the game.
Surface scanned by 50%.
The idea that I'd left any content unplayed was an irritation to me, and I wanted to get those bits out of the game and experience them but I didn't feel comfortable doing it because, like, spoiler alert. Skip over the next section of this if you've never played Skyrim or and you don't know what the Assassin's Guild quest in that game's like. To join the Assassin's Guild, you have to murder somebody in cold blood. Like after you've murdered somebody the first time, because don't worry, if you don't ever murder somebody, then it's never going to become a thing. But if you ever do murder somebody, I mean really murder them, not self-defense, not justifiable homicide, not manslaughter, but
Surface scan
out
complete.
and out, cold-blooded, somebody asked me to kill this person so I've killed them, or just, I'm just going to kill this person, then you will get abducted in the middle of the night and you will wake up in a hut in the middle of nowhere in a marsh, and someone from the Assassin's Guild will be there, and there'll be a bunch of people, and they'll tell you you have to murder one of them, and you've got a choice. But if you do murder one of them, you get to join the Assassin's Guild. So that never felt good to me, I have to say. Right, lava spouts, fumaroles and vents. Lava spouts, fumaroles and vents, oh my. Right, well they're all in the same place, so, and bizarrely they're all arranged in like tiger stripes. Now I wonder if we land in a darker part of this planet, we'll probably be cool enough to actually get out. We'll give it a go. It'll be harder to find the geologicals, but we've got our sonar to help us with that, so. See the flat sides on this planet, and it's been just like rendered as a very basic polygon. It's so annoying to see that, the corners and the sides and everything. Look at that, for goodness sakes, it's like something from Minecraft. Which again I think is going to turn out to be around about 1G at least by the time we actually get down there.
Orbital flight engaged.
Yep, it's over 1G, so let's try and take a shallower angle of approach. It's not as strong as the last planet we were on though, but we do need to be careful. Especially as it's going to be dark, so we're going to be landing in the dark, but that's because we want it to be cool enough that we can actually get out of the SRV and get a first footfall. Oh, it turns out it probably is as bad as the other planet actually. That is 1.32 now. Just take it nice and easy. Okay. Probably go a little bit faster. Uh-oh. Okay.
Landing gear deployed.
Just a bit. Like a third as much again as Earth gravity. Alright. Another nice landing now. We can disembark. Good. Right, so we'll get our first footfall first, then we'll get back on and get in the SRV. It's taking a while. So slow. Hello, Salim. Yeah, I was being slow, but that's because it was more than one gravity. So I don't want to damage the ship. As for this bit here, taking quite a while to get off. That was being very slow. Cool. Safe temperature. How hot is it? How actually hot is it? 570k. Okay. Let's get back on and get in the SLV. Right. Let's find those geologicals. You play it on PlayStation? Message retracted. Right. I read it. Too late. I read it. Yeah. I would normally come in faster on an approach for a low gravity planet, but I had one time when I did come in too fast on a high gravity planet and I ended up crashing there, so yeah. Well, oh 07 Commander. Something over here. Yeah. What have we got? What have we got? I mean, 1.3 is not too bad. It's not like 4G or 5G or something. But still, I like to be cautious anything that's over 1G, just because, you know, you've got to respect gravity. It's a lesson that you learn if you've ever crashed your ship and destroyed it. It's a bit knotty. Lots of little horrible rocks here. Ugh. I do not like the terrain here at all. Horrible terrain. Not good for driving. Right, what have we got? What have we got? Go faster, slow down the last 5 kilometers. When you come out of Super Cruise, you're already closer than 5 kilometers though. You come out of Super Cruise, you're like about 3 kilometers off the ground there, so you haven't seen a 5G planet. Man, they just recently found a landable planet that's 45G. I don't think anyone's ever going to land on that without crashing a ship, to be honest. 45G. I should crush the ship. Should crush the ship like when you like crush a can before you put it in the recycling. But I think that must be some kind of a bug. 1,000 light years. Is that like a dab? So you're 1,000 light years away from where I am. Is that where you are? Which system are you in? I'll look it up on the galaxy map when I'm back in the ship. If you tell me which system you're in. Right. That's sulfur dioxide gas vent. So let's see what else we can find here. Oh, this isn't too bad. This is at least flat. Okay, so what have we got here? That's a fumarole. Good, 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 good. Right, yep, sulfur dioxide. Fumarole. Just shoot that Pisces cobble off just on the off chance it's got anything nice in it. Chromium, no, don't need that. Ah, this looks like it might be a geyser. I might have the full set here. Let me just... oops. No, that's a gas vent as well. Ugh. Oh, that's no use to me either. Just trying to find a geyser. Ah, what's this? That's probably a vent as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's another vent. I think would have thought that one was a vent as well, but doesn't show up for the comp scanner, the other one. Oops. Let's just keep going. That Pisces cobble's probably got nothing useful in it. This one find. Pisces cobble. That's also a Pisces cobble. And this Pisces cobble is on. That's almost certainly a gas vent. No, it's a lava spout. It's a lava spout. That's all three. I'd forgotten it wasn't even geysers I was looking for. It was lava spouts. Duh. What am I like? Right. Well, I can get back to the ship now. That's everything done here. There's a 4G planet somewhere which has got a like a settlement on it where you can land, and I used the auto dock to land there one time, and I was more nervous using the auto dock than I was doing a manual landing. At least with a manual landing you can kind of control it and try and make sure it doesn't come down too hard, but it was my first time auto docking on such a high gravity planet, and I was like, if the auto dock just like crashes my ship, I'm not going to be happy. But it didn't. Everything was fine. I don't think I even lost any shields. What I did notice though, and it's why I've never gone back there, is taking off nearly burnt my engines out. You forget about that. The difficulty of landing is one thing, But getting back off the surface of a high gravity planet to fight the 4G and actually escape the gravitational pull really heats your engines up. I actually had to pop the heatsink just to get off the planet. So yeah, I've never been back to that settlement. It wasn't even like a settlement, it was like a proper base. Like a proper like starport on a planet thing. Anybody that actually is trying to land on that 45G planet almost certainly will never ever get off it again. Even if they did manage to land without like completely wiping the ship out, no way you're ever getting off that planet again. So you'll have to self-destruct anyway. Right, so that was 3. And next comes 4. Has rings. Well, number 4's not the one that's the number 4's not the one that's the red, what am I talking about, the brown dwarf, is it? So you can't even map one of them. So no, that's a proper planet. That's a proper planet. That's worth going to map. Fair enough.
Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So this next planet is a ring planet that we can land on. That would be interesting. So let's have another look at the information on it then. Yeah, that's the 2.26G one. So that's going to be even more of a delicate job of landing, but it'll be worth it because it's got rings. So ideally we want to land somewhere far from the equator so we get a nice view of the rings. Landable ring planets are fairly rare. I think I've only ever visited like 2 or 3 of them. Those are very wide rings. But there's a nice enough gap around the planet to get the probes in there, so should be alright. I can map it like as though it didn't have rings pretty much. Just get one onto the ring deliberately there.
Surface scan complete. Surface scanned by 50%.
Okay.
Surface scan complete.
So we've got lava spouts, fumaroles and vents. Lava spouts, fumaroles and vents. Right. Okay, so we've got a few things to think about here. We want to be somewhere where we can see what we're doing. We want to be somewhere where we've got a decent view of the rings. We want to be somewhere where there's geological activity. Why does... oh yeah, because it's just dust really, the rings. So really we want a view of the rings that's not going to be obscured by the galactic disk as well. There's a lot to consider here. Oh, look at that. Repeating tiles. It's annoying, isn't it? I think this area here will be a good one. Even lower down there.
Orbital flight engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, the rings are looking nice from here, I think. The galactic disk's not directly behind them. They're anyway quite thin, so I mean, all the stars show right through, but you can see them, which is nice. I would imagine that because of the way that controllers for consoles work, you've got some like sticks that are analog, so you can be a bit more gentle when it comes to the actual landing. Whereas mouse and keyboard, which is what I'm flying with, it's kind of like on or off, so it's a little tricky. Anyway, I apologise if these cautious approaches are boring you, but I really don't want to end up totaling the ship. Or even bouncing it off the planet and taking out half the shields, because that's just too close for comfort as well. Okay. Yeah. So it's nice flat landscape, which is good, especially if you want to fly in a little shallower. You don't want mountains getting in the way or anything. Ah, no, it's hanging again. Oh, no. I need all my frames. Give me all my frames. Oh, it's not a good time for this. Phew. Okay.
Landing gear deployed.
Yes. Those rings are so thin you can barely see them, look. Never mind. Whoa! So that barely touched it, still took out 10% of the shields. But that's a good landing for 2.26G for me, at any rate. Right, let's just get the DSLV out to start with.
High gravity warning.
Yeah. Ah, right. Every now and again the rings sort of seem to firm up a little. There's something weird going on with the lighting in this game. Anyway, let's get a decent screenshot of those rings. There we go. That should be a good one. Okay. Now then, let's find some geologicals. Looks like there's something over here. Something over here. Oh, it's an outcrop. Is that what we were picking up? Just the outcrop? I thought maybe we'd found some geologicals already. Still, doesn't hurt. Shoot the outcrop. See what delicious chunks it holds. The chunks are looking less than delicious. Chromium, sulfur, carbon, iron, manganese. Nah, don't need any of that. This looks promising. What is this? What is this? Yes, this is some geology. This is some geology right here. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. Silicate magma lava spout. Okay, that's one of 3. And, try and give that a shooting off. Turn myself around here. Yeah. Ah, now that's actually something useful.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Very nice. Right. Well, this isn't geology, but let's go see what it is all the same. There's some geology off to the right. Just get this thing dealt with first, I think. Ah, it's a metallic meteorite. You often get a number of them in one place, and it appears like that might be what we've got here. Yep, yeah, there's another one. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's probably something nice in all that lot. Yes, we've got some more mercury, and we've got some tellurium as well, which is good. Yep. Very nice. Bit more tellurium. There's something good there. Mercury, that's what it was. Right. Now then, what's over this way? Pardon me. What do we have over here? Oops. Ah, that looks like a fumarole. Yep, silica vapor fumarole. So we've got the lava spout and the fumarole. I think it's just a gas vent to go now. Right, what did that have in it? Nothing useful. Or at least nothing useful to me. Something over in this direction. What's this? Oh, it's like a giant fumarole. With a very large kind. Oh. well, once we're done on this planet, I think we'll be calling an end to this particular stream. So once again, if you've been enjoying it, and if you haven't already, then consider giving us a subscribe. Put your landing gear on the notifications bell and you'll find out every time I post something. Right, I think this is all we need here. That looks like a gas vent, and all I need is a gas vent, so yep, gas vent, that's all three. I just need to recall the ship, really. I'll just have a little last look at these minerals, just in case it's anything that I'm in need of. This is new music, I don't think I've heard this one before. So don't spend that much time on my metal content worlds. Oh, you know what? I haven't got out of the SRV yet. Come on. Here we go. Nope, don't need that either. That was a nice little piece of music, wasn't it? Kind of like a Star Trek motion picture kind of a feel. Oops. What's going on here? It's because I was on a slope. Nope, don't need that either. Right. Oh, I can't disembark. The temperature's here still unsafe. Still too close to the sun, it would seem. Right, well, that's unfortunate. I guess somebody else will just get the first footfall for this one then. So I'm not about to fly around the dark side and land there just to get first footfall. I'm thorough, but I'm not obsessive. Main thing is I've told ED Market Connector about the geologicals and marked them off. So I've got the Canon plugin for the EDMC, so it pays attention to all that kind of data. The next person to visit here will know. Alright, and hopefully the auto landing on my ship will land it nice and gently despite the high gravity. Nice and gently. Easy does it. Maybe I'll get another shot with the rings in my landed ship, just for the sake. Oops. That's it. just have the light rays coming down from the star. That'll do. Brilliant. Oops. Okay, yeah, so we'll call it a night here. Hopefully I will remember it's a high gravity world when I next play the game, and I'll take off at a suitable angle and not have to overstrain my engines. I mean, Asp Explorers fly pretty cool, and it's only 2.26 G, so I doubt there'll be an issue there. But if I forget, that's the only problem there. If I forget, then I might not take off at a suitable angle, and it might get a bit hot. That's all. Right, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. There's usually a regular Let's Play video on Fridays. If it doesn't come out the Friday, it'll come out the Saturday night. Sometimes I just can't get it uploaded in time. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, so sometimes Sunday evenings there's usually an Exploration Elite Dangerous Odyssey stream. So I hope to see you again on there. Bye for now. 07